Hey guys, welcome to the Weekly Wisdoms. We're doing them here live on Facebook. Today we're going to talk about how to stop suffering and should you believe your thoughts? Hey guys, seriously, suffering may be one of the things that we do so much without even realizing it anymore. And I'm not talking about the level of suffering some of you might be going through with an illness or a sickness. And if you do, my prayers and heart goes out to you. But most of us suffer all day because we believe our thoughts. We let our thoughts control our physiology, the stress hormones that go to our stomach and make us feel terrible. And I want you to be aware of that today. And I want to share with you how I think you could stop suffering and get yourself into more beautiful states, to be in a positive state of mind. Even if crap is going wrong, you can address it in a different way if you simply decide no more suffering. So I want to give you an example. My daughter, I have a son and daughter. My son loves homework. He comes home from school, he can't wait to hammer it out. My daughter absolutely can't stand it. She puts it off to the last minute. So I'm with her literally yesterday, and I said, Bree, you got to get that homework done. You're going back to school. And as soon as I say homework and she looks at the paper, I watch her face change. I watch the stress come on. She's like, oh, Dad. And then I took it, and this is what I did. I took the piece of paper, literally like this, a piece of paper. I took the piece of paper and I hit her, and then I tried to stab her with it. And I said, Bree, can this piece of paper hurt you? Is this piece of paper making you sad? Is what's on this paper making you sad, putting you in that state of mind? Or is it what's going on in your head, your thoughts of that piece of paper? She's like, oh, Dad, this might be a little too deep for me because I'm always giving her lessons. And I said, but think about it, Bree. Does the homework make you stressed to put you in that state of mind? Or your thoughts that aren't true telling you that it's stressful, telling you it's going to be hard? Which one is it? And she's like, it's my thoughts. I said, well, what if your thoughts sometimes lie to you? What if your thoughts lie to you a lot? What if you don't trust your thoughts always? What if you separate yourself where your thoughts are one thing and your soul and your heart is another? If you ever read Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now, he goes deep on that. But I tried to really simplify it for her and say, when you see that piece of paper, if you decide not to associate suffering, getting upset, taking away your happiness, is that piece of paper worth robbing your happiness? Again, I'm oversimplifying this, but this is what I talked to my 9-year-old daughter last night. Because here's what I believe. I believe as we grow up, we form an identity. Whether your parents gave you an identity, whether you watched something on TV or you had an uncle or a mentor, but we grow up with this identity of who we are, who we think we are, right? Not on a conscious level, but who we are. And then all of a sudden, as we get this identity, I think as we evolve in our 20s and 30s, we start developing an ego around that identity. This is just who I am. If maybe my parents were liberals, I'm a liberal, or maybe I'm a conservative, or maybe I'm a vegan, maybe I don't care, maybe I like exercise, maybe I don't. You start forming this identity, and this is where I want you to really think about suffering. What happens is our ego takes over that identity, and anything that doesn't match up against our identity, our ego goes, that's wrong. And we're triggered to start suffering. Oh, that person believes the complete opposite of the politics of me. Oh, suffering. I can't believe my wife would think that way. It's going up against our ego, our identity, suffering. I can't believe homework does this to me. I can't believe my friends do this. My coworkers do this. If they don't align with our identity and our ego, silently, that's creating suffering in our lives. So today, I'd love for you to think about this entire week. Chip, could you go get me that clicker as well? You can tell we're live, right? This week, I want you to really think about your thoughts. Are they real? Are your thoughts real, or are they lying to you? So I'm going to give you one more example. I talk about my kids a lot. You know, I get to learn so much with them. I'm growing up with them, and what I realize, if I can get my 7-year-old and my 9-year-old to actually do it, then I'm boiling it down so all of us can fit it in our really busy lives. So I'm going to tell you one more story. I have my son's 7. Kid is the best sleeper in the entire world. 8 o'clock every night, that kid goes in his room for the last 6.5 years, 7 years, goes in his room, shuts his door, goes to bed, comes out in the morning, dressed, teeth brushed, shower. And that's just his personality. About a month and a half ago, has a really bad dream. He says it wasn't a dream. He said there was people trying to get in his window with black masks on, and he felt them touch his hand, and he's been freaked out ever since. And he doesn't want to sleep alone. And almost every night I'm sleeping with him. I sleep on the floor. I'm trying to give him security. I don't want to just say tough it out. He believes it to be true. But yesterday, as we're having this topic on homework with my daughter, I turned right to him and I said, Bud, I want to ask you something. Do you think when you get scared at night, do you think there's actually somebody in your room? Or do you think it's your thoughts replaying it? And that's what's making you scared, making you suffer. I said, Bud, I know it's hard. I was a little kid. I'm not expecting you to be an adult. Adults work hard on this stuff. But what I want to ask you, the next time you have that thought and that thought says, oh my God, there's someone in this room, someone gonna hurt me. You can go down this whole road. I just want you to stop and let your heart, your soul say, wait a minute, are my thoughts lying to me again? And I'm not kidding you, this morning he woke up, he goes, Dad, at 4 o'clock, it was 4:07 on the clock, he said, I got scared and I was gonna leave my room again, but then I said, hey thoughts, stop lying to me. What if we could rediscover how innocent, my son doesn't know better, he hasn't had life experiences to tell him that won't work or things are wrong or he's not doing it right. He just believed me. And he decided to not believe his thoughts. And I think within a couple days, it's going to be gone. I wish I thought about it 30 days ago. So that's what I want you to think about today. I know I digressed a lot, but we all suffer. We all think if we stress about it, we worry about it, somehow that's going to fix it. The more we worry about it, the more we run into it. The more we think about it, the more it is in our life. What we believe, we achieve. If we believe it's going to go wrong, we achieve the wrong thing. If we believe that we can go down the right path, if we acknowledge that we're suffering for no reason, if someone hurt you in the past and you're still suffering, you can't undo it. It's time to realize that you can get through life with a better state of mind. And as my good buddy Tony Robbins always says, he's been on this kick for almost a year now, why not live in a beautiful state of mind? When you first start, it might take you a week to get back. Then it's a day, then it's a few hours, then it could be minutes. That's my message for today, guys. Thank you for all the comments below. Thank you. We're doing this live. Of course, I go live throughout the week sporadically, but I love having you here. Don't forget, make sure that you go to, if you want to go to the wide shot here, go to deansfreebook.com. That's deansfreebook.com. You can grab my New York Times bestseller on personal development. You can grab my real estate book if that interests you. Plus, we'll send you reminders for these weekly wisdom videos. Also, like us, share, and subscribe. I'd appreciate you sharing this with people, liking it, and subscribe so you make sure when I go live, you're there, and you can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram. Guys, thank you so much. I hope you have an amazing week. Thanks for watching. Thanks for all the comments. I read 100% of them, so leave me a message below. Even if you want to share what you suffer over, that it's time to stop. What can you stop suffering over today? Because you can't change the past, and you can't paint a picture that didn't happen yet. You got to live in this moment. Stop suffering. It's time to live in a beautiful state. I'm Dean Graziosi. I'll talk to you next week.